6 teams heading to match number 3 over in League One with their perfect record. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 2 wins out of 2. But who, of course, can extend that to 3 wins out of 3? Well, today, we're going to find out. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at, of course, match day number 3. That's right, over in League One. Who, of course, will continue their great start in the campaign, or who, of course, will suffer their first defeat. Well, today we're going to get into that. Of course, make sure you subscribe. You want to subscribe for League One, Blackburn Rovers. World football is right here under one Rooski. And, of course, big shout out to the members and the Patreons. You know who you are. But today we are going to jump in the deep end, of course, looking at match day number 3. But before that, we're going to jump back and look at match day number 2. So sit tight. Hold on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this, guys. It is League One, and these were my predictions from last week. So coming at you right here, right now, Port Vale Cardiff ended up being a 0-0 scoreline. I went with a 1-1 scoreline myself. Peterborough did lose to Luton Town and went the other way. So what's gone wrong with Peterborough? Meanwhile, Reading did lose to Huddersfield Town 2-0. Got that one spot on the nose. Meanwhile, Wimbledon did beat Lincoln City 2-0. I got that also spot on the nose. Burton, so close. 3-2 loss to Barnsley. I went with a score draw on that one. Bolton did beat Plymouth 2-0. Got that one bang on. Meanwhile, Exeter absolutely thumped Blackpool, who are in trouble here, guys. 2 heavy defeats for Blackpool. Stevie Bruce needs to get it moving in the right direction. Meanwhile, the Orient also caused an upset for me. 2-0 winners over Wigan. I went the other way. Mansfield did lose to Doncaster 2-1. I went with the draw. Speaking of draws, Northampton Town and Bradford City did draw 0-0. Got that one spot on. Stevenage did beat Rotherham 1-0. I got that one also bang on the nose. And then finally, Wycombe Wanderers did lose to Stockport 2-1. I also got that bang on the nose. So I did okay. There was a little bit of rough patch in the middle, but ultimately I did alright. But then, of course, the table, my friends, looks like this. Heading into match number 3 is Huddersfield, Barnsley, Stockport, Luton, Stevenage and Doncaster Rovers with a perfect record so far. And going down, it's Reading, Plymouth, Blackpool and Peterborough with Mansfield and Wycombe also on the outside looking in. So we could all change, though, dramatically. We could have a new leader, different leader, of course. So let's sit tight and hold on and get into those next round of games. But before that, I want to let you know that we are doing a prediction league. It is open, it's free, get involved, and we'll bring you bang up to date with that very, very soon. It is a double match week approaching here in League One, so it is too fast for me to get the calculations to you while everything else keeps on moving on the channel. So just do your thing, just keep on predicting, the form will be there, and yeah, see if you can outpredict me, the Prediction King. But anyway, we are jumping to the deep end, which are looking at these next round of games. So of course, a spectacular, fantastic bunch of games to look forward to. What is your favourite? Let me know down below. So we're going to kick it all off, though, with a trip to the Pirelli. That's right, as Burton Albion host Port Vale, coming at your early kickoff on Saturday, the 16th of August. Gary Bowyer's boys up against Darren Moore's lads. Played 19 times since 2010. 6 wins for Burton, 9 wins for Port Vale. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue was a 1-0 win for Port Vale way back in March 2024. Goodness gracious me, that was a couple of seasons back. Burton, actually, their Wastsiders actually won 5 of the last 6. So it's not looking good at the moment for Burton in this match. Burton's last victory at this place, at the Pirelli, against Port Vale. You've got to go back to October 2015. It's been a long, long time, guys. Coming into this, Port Vale, though, on the back of a 2-1 loss to Rotherham. They followed that up, though, with a 0-0 home draw against Cardiff. Burton opened up with that 2-1 win over Mansfield. They did lose in a narrow game against Barnsley most recently. 19-10 is your Burton, 27-20 is your Port Vale, 12-5 is the draw. Big fan of Burton under Gary Bowyer. I think they're going to do all right. Going to go with a 1-0 win for them at home. Exeter City against Mansfield Town coming at you at St James's Park. That's right, coming at you this coming 16th of August. I don't wish it was October. Anyway, they played 19 times at 2013, 9 wins, Exeter 7 wins, Mansfield. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. Coming at you right here, right now, the most recent match at this venue was a 2-0 win for Exeter back in March 2025. In fact, the home side has won 4 on the bounce in this one, whether it's at Exeter or at Mansfield. Coming into this, though, Mansfield on the back of a 2-1 loss to Burton. They followed that up with a 2-1 loss at home to Doncaster. Doncaster, though, did also beat Exeter to open up the campaign, but they bounced back with a 4-1 win over Blackpool. The odds for this one, 17-10 is your Exeter, 31-20 is your Mansfield, 23-10 is the draw. We're going to go with a 2-1 win Exeter to make it back-to-back wins. And maybe they can have a good old season. That's right. Meanwhile, another team that is having a good old season is Barnsley. 2 wins out of 2 under Conor Hoonahane. Up against Bolton under Stephen Schumacher, who's won 1 and lost 1 so far, as the season is cranked up a notch here with this game. Coming at you at Oakwell, they played 32 times since 1993. 8 wins for Barnsley, 10 wins for Bolton. And there's been 14 draws between the two sides. Most recently at this venue, Barnsley, 4-1 win as it was last time back in April 2025. Barnsley back-to-back wins for them. In fact, they won 3 on the spin and only lost once again against Bolton in the last 6 in all competitions at all venues. Meanwhile, Barnsley opening up with a 3-1 away win at Plymouth. They followed that with a 3-2 home win with Burton. As for Bolton, losing at home to a tricky Stockport side, followed that with a 2-0 win over Plymouth as well. So both these two sides have played one of the hot favourites for the division and both come out with a victory. Meanwhile, 70-10 is your Barnsley, 29-20 is your Bolton, 30-5 is the draw. I've written off Barnsley before the season even got going. I think they'll get a win here as well to put Bolton in a bit of a slump. But Bolton, realistically, you're looking at their 3 matches so far, very difficult start to the season. And they're playing the big boys early, so maybe this is a good rub of the green for Bolton because they're playing the big boys now, getting some results, but eventually, hopefully, when they kick into gear, they might be up against a weaker opposition. Anyway, let's move forward. Blackpool need a result up against Huddersfield Town, of course. Steve Bruce derby, is it? Did he manage Huddersfield Town? Let me know. I can't remember. My memory's gone at the moment. Steve Bruce, of course, back-to-back defeats for them. Not looking good up against Huddersfield Town, who are back-to-back wins. Coming at Bloomfield Road, they played 22 times since 2003. 8 wins for the Tangerines, 7 wins for the Terriers. 7 draws between the two sides. Last time around at Bloomfield Road, it was a 2-2 scoreline back in January 2025. In fact, it's been back-to-back 2-2 scorelines in this venue, in this fixture here. Blackpool, though, are unbeaten against Huddersfield over the last 4. They picked up 2 away wins at the John Smiths. Blackpool are losing to Stevenage 3-2. They've, of course, lost to Exeter. They've conceded 7 goals in the last 2. Meanwhile, Huddersfield back-to-back clean sheets. Picked up good wins against Leyton, Orient and Reading. And the Majewski, the odds for this one, Blackpool 31-20 for the victory, 13-8 is your Huddersfield, 12-5 is the draw. Up and down on this one, up and down, left, right and centre, but I'm going to go with an away win. 2-1 win, Huddersfield Town. They just have got it right now. Lee Grant has got these guys cooking already. Bradford City taking on Luton Town, of course, coming at you this match day. Of course, don't forget, all these teams are in action in the League Cup as well, which could bear in mind some form changes coming into this. But Bradford City coming at you with Graham Alexander at the helm, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. Luton under Matt Bloomfield, just 1 defeat in the last 6, coming at you right here, right now. That 1 defeat was a friendly. It was a friendly, so interesting. Played 7 times since 2004, 5 wins. Luton, nothing for Bradford. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at this very venue, at Vale Parade, it was a 1-0 win for Luton way back in March 2019. That was in League One. Back-to-back wins for Luton over Bradford City. Back-to-back clean sheets as well. Coming at you heading into this, though, Bradford City opening up their account with a 2-1 win at home to Wycombe. They followed up with a 0-0 draw away to Northampton Town. Luton, though, opening up with a 1-0 win over Wimbledon. They followed up with a 2-0 away win at Peterborough. So back-to-back clean sheets in the league here. The bookies odds for this, 12-5 is your Bradford, 11-10 is your Luton, 12-5 is the draw here. We're going to go with a 2-1 win for Bradford City here. Of course, at home, the fans are going to be packed out. This is probably one of the FA Cup games. This is one of their cup games, you know what I mean? Against one of the bigger boys. So they're going to come up and deliver a performance as well to upset the apple cart as well. Meanwhile, Cardiff City up against Rotherham United over in Wales. That's right. Cardiff City started off pretty decent as well with Brian Barry Murphy. 4 points of a possible 6 up against Rotherham under Matthew Hamshaw. 3 wins, 3 points of a possible 6 as well. Now, they've played 17 times since 2003. 9 wins Cardiff, 3 wins Rotherham. There's been 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Cardiff, it was a 2-0 win for the Welsh Wonders back in September 2023. At Cardiff, it's been back-to-back wins for Cardiff at this very venue, and they're coming into on the back of a 2-1 home win against Peterborough, a 0-0 scoreline away to Port Vale. As for Rotherham, 2-1 win over Port Vale, a 1-0 loss though to Stevenage most recently. The odds here, 10-7 on is your Cardiff, 50-4 is your Rotherham, 11-4 is the draw. I'm gonna go with Cardiff here, 2-0 win at home. They should win this one quite easy. Doncaster Rovers against Wycombe Wanderers. Coming at the Keepmoat, Grant McCann's boys up against Mike Dodds. They played 9 times in 2006, 2 wins for Doncaster, 6 wins for Wycombe. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around at the Keepmoat, it was a 2-0 win for Wycombe back in October 2021. Looking at the recent form between these two sides, over the last 4, Wycombe, actually over the last 5, Wycombe have won 4 and just lost them once. They're coming into this, though, Doncaster on the back of back-to-back wins, beating Exeter at home, beating Mansfield away. Wycombe picking up a 2-1 loss away to Bradford, and also losing the same scoreline at home to Stockport County. So their confidence is taking a dump. 6-4 is your Doncaster, 70-10 is your Wycombe, 12-5 is the draw. I'm back in Doncaster here for an upset, 1-0 win, as Wycombe's season kind of unravels. It's really kind of spinning out of control, and we've not even left August. Meanwhile, Leyton Orient taking on Stockport County at Brisbane Road. Richie Williams' boys up against David Challoner. Of course, this is a repeat of the old League One playoff That's right, it was the playoffs when they met in the semi-final. Anyway, they played 12 times since 2005, 5 wins for the Orient, 4 wins for Stockport. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at Brisbane Road, it was a draw. It was a 2-2 scoreline back in May 2025 in the first leg of those playoffs. In the regular season, though, Stockport won 1-0 at Brisbane Road last time around. Coming at you right here, right now, Wycombe did lose to Stockport. They made it back-to-back wins, beating Bolton and then Wycombe. As for the Orient, they did lose to Huddersfield on the opening day, followed up with a 2-0 win at this very venue over Wigan Athletic. The odds for this, though, 9-5 is your Orient, 29-20 is your Stockport, 23-10 is the draw. This is a tight one. I may have gone on a draw here. I may have. Yes, I have gone with a draw. It's tight. These two sides, I think, kind of cancel each other out. And at the moment, I think they're both credible teams to keep an eye out for those playoffs. Meanwhile, Lincoln City, they're taking on Plymouth, who are rock bottom right now, or just about rock bottom, 23rd. Up against Michael Scapula's boys, 1-1, lost 1 thus far in the campaign. Plymouth back-to-back wins under Tom Cleverley. They played 9 times in 2013, 3 wins apiece and 3 draws. Last time around at the old Sinsel Bank, it was a 1-1 scoreline back in November 2022. In fact, the away side, or the home side, hasn't won this game since Plymouth beat Lincoln 4-3, Bobby Dazzler, back in February 2021. Plymouth losing to Barnsley at home, losing away to Bolton last time around. Lincoln opening up with a 2-0 win against Reading, but they did lose at Plough Lane the other day against Wimbledon. The odds for this, even Stevens is your Plymouth, 14-5 is your even Stevens is your Lincoln, 14-5 is your Plymouth, 12-5 is the draw. Gotta back Lincoln City here, 2-1 win. Plymouth just haven't shown anything at the moment. And concerning times heading into this. Reading now up against Wimbledon, coming in at the Majeski. That's right, Noel Hunt's boys struggling. They are rock bottom right now, 24th out of a possible 24 back-to-back defeats for them. Up against Wycombe and Johnny Jackson's boys, 1 win, 1 loss so far this season. They played 5 times in 2012, 2 wins Reading, 3 wins Wimbledon. There's been no draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at the Majeski, it was a 1-0. It was a friendly. All of those games were friendlies, so it doesn't really matter. Coming into this, though, Reading did lose to Lincoln and then followed up with a same scoreline 2-0 loss at home to Huddersfield. Wimbledon losing the opening game of the season to Luton and then followed up with a 2-0 win over Lincoln at their own backyard. Reading are in trouble here, guys. 21-20 is your victory, 5-2 is your Wimbledon, 25 is a draw. They've lost a lot of talent. I'm giving them the victory here. I don't know where it's coming from, but they're going to get the win, according to me. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, into the next one. Stevenage have kicked off with an absolutely fantastic start. They are 5th of the table with back-to-back wins. Northampton Town, though, are 18th with just 1 point of a possible 6. Now, they played 21 times since 2005. 4 wins Stevenage, 13 wins Northampton. 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at Stevenage, it was a 2-0 win for Stevenage back in December 2024. In fact, it's been back-to-back home wins for Stevenage over Northampton Town. They are unbeaten against Northampton over the last 5. They haven't conceded a goal against them in the last 4. So what do we get from that? Stevenage, though, opening up with a 3-2 Bobby Dazzler over Blackpool. They followed up with a 1-0 win in the over Rotherham in the Steve Evans derby. Meanwhile, Northampton losing to Wigan opening day, bounced back there with a 0-0 scoreline against Bradford City. The odds for this one, 10-7 on is your Stevenage, 70-4 is your Northampton, 5-2 is the draw. I think I'm going with, 0-0 here. I think Stevenage have been great so far, really upset us all, but I think Northampton are just going to grind it out. If we're going to be sitting there parking the bus, trying to get another point in the bag, get a bit more confidence going and keep going. And I just anticipate that to be the result. And then finally we go Wigan up against Peterborough, coming at you over at the DW. Ryan Lowe's boys up against Darren Ferguson. Played 11 times since 2003, 4 wins apiece, 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around at the DW, it was a 3-0 win for Wigan back in October 2024. It's been back-to-back wins for Wigan over Peterborough at this very venue. They've actually won 3 of the last 4 against Peterborough. Their only defeat was the last match at Peterborough. Coming at you, Wigan, though, opening up with a 3-1 win over Northampton. They did lose to the Orient at Brisbane Road. As for Peterborough, they lost 2-1 narrow game against Cardiff and, of course, followed up with a 2-0 loss to Luton. But both of those two oppositions have been relegated championship clubs, if you know what I mean. So they've been up against it. One of the difficult starts in the division. 21-20 is your Wigan, 5-2 is your Peterborough, 5-2 is the draw. Unfortunately, though, it does get a little bit worse. They're going to lose this game. I've gone with just the 1-0 win. Full Rhino's boys' turn. Of course, that's Wigan to get the W. And, of course, move the chains. So that's my picks, guys. And then if the table will look like this, if I'm right, with Huddersfield, Barnsley and Doncaster remaining unbeaten with a 100% record so far. I'm going down Plymouth, Blackpool, Peterborough and Wycombe Wanderers as, of course, the season ramps up a notch, guys and girls. And again, don't forget, we got the Prediction League. It's 100% free. Get your predictions out there. And, of course, we'll be back very, very soon with, of course, more action next week, double match week. So where else are you going to go? Right here. Smash your like, smash your subscribe. I'll see you soon when I return. I'm out.